heard the words mission trip to Brazil is now available. And I was like, oh my gosh, I have to go on this trip. I don't care how much it costs. I really have to go on this mission trip. So I called up my dad and I was like, Dad, hey, there's a mission trip available for me to go to, and can I go? And he was like, Jessica, if that's your heart desire, if that's what you want to do, then, just go and believe God that you're going to get the money for it. So I was like, okay, God. So that reminded me of this quote from a famous missionary, and he said, expect great things from God, attempt great things for God. And that's exactly what I did on my mission trip. And what happened on my mission trip, my experience, to me, can happen to anybody. And I'll show you what happened to me by telling you exactly what is a mission trip, telling you how I had to go through travel preparations, how I experienced culture shock, I was able to break out my comfort zone, and how Brazil is constantly, still always on my mind. First thing, what is a missions trip? A mission trip is not a vacation. It's not a time to just chill out and relax and just go on the beach and just lay out. That's not what a mission trip is. A mission trip is actually what the name states. It's a mission. We're going there for a mission and a purpose. So a mission trip is going out and preaching the gospel of Jesus Christ into people that never heard the gospel before. And I remember I've always wanted to go on a mission trip ever since I was young. I remember at the age of 12, I heard people talk about missions, and I was like, oh my gosh, I really want to go. But I wasn't able to go onto a trip until I was 18 years old, and that was the trip that I went on to Brazil. So there was a lot of preparation that I had to do to go on this trip. The first thing I had to do was make sure that I had my passport, and I paid for that, which was around $110, and then I had to apply for my visa so I can actually live in Brazil for that 11 days that I was there. And then not only that kind of preparation, but I had to do spiritual preparation for myself. I had to fast and I had to pray to the Lord and ask God to give me wisdom to handle every situation that I would be going through when I go to Brazil, because I was going to be going into an area with people that were dealing with witchcraft, people that were dealing with all sorts of things that I was never exposed to before. So I had to really pray to the Lord and ask Him to really build me up in the inside so I can be prepared for anything that came up against me. I remember when I arrived in Brazil, I was like, oh my gosh, this place is completely different than what I expected. I was kind of like in shock of what it looked like. And actually, this is a picture of me and some of the people on the team walking in the village. And the villagers, I didn't expect them to look like this, but some of them had nice homes. And then some people kind of lived in a poor area where they didn't have water and they didn't have electricity and that kind of thing. And we were actually in Queimadas, Brazil, and according to citypopulation.com, Queimadas has a population of 30,000 people. And while I was there in Brazil, I really had a time to face my fears and really get out of my comfort zone. We had opportunities to go preach the gospel to people, going door to door, and I really didn't like talking to people. I was like always scared and always nervous, didn't know what to say. So this is a picture of me going and telling somebody at their house about the gospel of Jesus Christ. But the thing that really broke out my comfort zone is when I had an opportunity to give my testimony at the church in Brazil. So I had the opportunity to speak in front of 100 people, and I was really nervous. I was like, okay, God, I don't know what I'm going to say, but it ended up working out really good. But the major thing that really impacted my life was me being able to speak at the crusade. The crusade was a gathering of about 7,000 people from the city of Queimadas that came out to hear the gospel of Jesus Christ, and people came out to get prayer and healed and delivered from what they were dealing with. And I was able to go out and give my testimony in front of these 7,000 people, which is the most people I ever spoke to my whole entire life. So I went up, I gave my testimony in front of those people, and there's a picture of me right there, and there's also another picture of me giving my testimony in front of people. It was really, really refreshing, and I enjoyed every second I was on stage. I was like, this is awesome, me sharing the good news into the people that were lost in a lost and desert place. And And last thing is Brazil. It constantly stays on my mind, even though I went on a trip about a year and a half ago. I always think about Brazil, I pray about Brazil. I think about the people, because the kids are just so lovely, and they're just so loving, and I just love the place, and I really want to go back because it impacted my life, and it changed my life forever. So my life was changed on this mission trip. I was able to get out of my comfort zone, able to do things that I never thought I would be able to do. And I got to share the gospel of Jesus Christ and the people that were lost and people that didn't know about Jesus. And I encourage anybody and everybody to at least go on one mission trip your whole entire life. And if you want more information, visit shortermissiontrip.com to find out more information about trips and how you can sign up for a mission trip. So I'd encourage everybody to go on a mission trip. It changed my life, and I know that it can change yours. Thank you.